18 years ago, in my apartment, I told the 18 founders that one day we will build up a site. That site will be the top 10 sites of the world, and we will build up a company that can last 102 years. Every goal you give to your team should be very accurate. If you say, this company is going to last 100 years, so nobody take it seriously, because every company say, we want to last 100 years. So the number you give the team should be very accurate. We took the video when I talked to the 18 founders. And today when I watch the video, a lot of people say, well, since we don't have anything to do, when you see 102 years, a big 10 sites, let's just do it. Very few people believe that we will make it happen, because we don't have a high resumes, right? I graduated from Hangzhou Teachers College, and most of my colleagues at 18 founders, they were my students, my friends. None of them are very successful. Among the 18 people, there are only 3 people who know something about computer. The rest of 15 people know nothing about computer, nothing about the internet. We had no money. 18 people gathered $50,000, and we had no relationship. None of us from rich family or powerful family with a government office background. We don't have great talents. But I told the team that, guys, if we can be successful, 80% of the young people in the world can be successful. Because at that time, China had the internet was so backward. Nobody believed e-commerce in China. Nobody believed internet. People say China will not develop internet, and China will not have e-commerce because you don't have a credit card system, you don't have logistics, you don't have this, you don't have that. But I think someday China will have. If we start to do it now, if we prepare for 10, 15 years, the day that e-commerce in China will booming. So that was the thinking at the beginning. And 30 years ago, I was considered, in my early 30 years, I was considered to be a loser. I remember that, I applied university for 3 times, all failed. And after the first year when I finished university of high school, failed in examination for university, I went apply for a job in a police station. 5 classmates, we went there, 4 of them accepted, and I was rejected. And one of the 4 who were rejected, today he's my chief staff. He's been working in the police for 20 years. He's an excellent policeman, but when we talk about this, he always say, well, the day when we apply for being a policeman, you were rejected. They feel very proud, but they say, hey, Jack, you don't have a chance. And the second thing I remember very well, in Hangzhou, the first 4-star hotel in my city was built. My cousin and I waited for 2 hours and a half in a very hot summer in order to apply a job being a hotel waiter. After interview, my score was much better than my cousin. After interview, my cousin was accepted and I was rejected. Reason is he was taller and more handsome. 30 years later, today, he is still working in that hotel in a lingerie room. And I changed my life. And the other thing is that it's true. 24 of my friends, we went for applied job in a KFC. And 23 accepted. I was the only guy rejected. I don't know why, but they say, you don't have it. So I thought, maybe the God said you should do things yourself. Because I get used to be rejected. Even to today, most of the times when we fail, when we did not achieve something, I say, well, get used to it. We are the people, have to learn. We get used to be rejected. We get used to the days nobody come to help us, support us. We should not get used to be successful. When we succeed on something, we always feel very proud, and honored and thankful. Even in 1999, Joe and I, our CFO, Vice Chairman, and we took him to Silicon Valley and asked for venture capitalist support. We were rejected by more than 30 venture capitalists. People even did not want to listen to a talk. They say, hey, you 18 guys, none of you guys have a high resumes. None of you guys, Joe he graduated from Yale. But the other 18 guys, we don't have any background. And the story we're telling be the top 10 websites, want to make a company last 102 years, and we'll be doing e-commerce in China. People say, this guy is crazy. But we started with $50,000 US. And then, I think 2 years later, Harvard came. They want to write a case study. They spent 1 week, write a long case study and talk to me, say, Jack, this is your company. I read the case study, say, no, this is not my company. This is not what we want to do. He said, this is your company. You just did not realize that. So I say, okay, then it is my company. And the next 6 years, they put the case study in many universities in Beijing to study that they always put Alibaba and our competitors together. Every time I was invited, sitting at the back of the classroom, listen to the people talking about my company. For 6 years, every time they say Alibaba will die, that competitor will win. And 6 years later, all the competitors die, we're still surviving. The reason we do that, not because we're expert of internet, not because we are smart. We are not smart people. But we are very optimistic. We believe in the future. We believe in internet. And we believe that if we do not succeed, somebody will. And we know that we have to be humble. We have to serve our customers. The investors may not like us. If the customers like us, we have the futures. Right? Most of the companies die not because they don't have money, because they have too much money. And we don't have a plan. I understand a lot of venture capitalists say, Jack, what is your business plan? I say, I don't have a business plan. So how can I give you money if you don't have a business plan? And my answer is, how can you giving you business plan of internet e-commerce in 1999? The only thing is how can using internet to support the customers and understand the customers, make the customers successful. We know only our customers succeed, we will be successful. So this is how we did it. And I really have been very thankful for America. 1995, I went to Seattle, discovered the internet. And year 2001, 2002, when the internet almost bubble bursted, I happened to be in Seattle again. In my home, in my friend's home, I watched a wonderful movie called Forrest Gump. I like the sentence. Every time when I have a problem, I tell myself, this is what Forrest Gump said. He said, life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get. And I found that Forrest Gump made a fortune by catching shrimps, not catching whales. So helping small business will make me like a Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump, just to keep on running. Be simple, serve the people. That was what I learned. And also, I think the very important is after so many years, I learned. I keep on telling myself, yesterday I told you, and today I want to tell you again. As an entrepreneur, believe every day is difficult. Today is very difficult. Tomorrow is much more difficult. But believe in the day after tomorrow, that day is very beautiful. But most people die tomorrow evening. If you don't work hard, you don't see the sunshine. And people say, how could you inspire people when days are so bad? We hire people who are very self-motivated. As a leader, you should never complain. If you complain, nobody will follow you. Nobody loves to follow a leader who complains a lot. And we have to be optimistic. I'm lucky enough to meet so many great business leaders in the world. I find all of them, they are very optimistic. I found all of them never complain, and I found all of them want to making sure that their team are better. 18 years later, now from 18 founders, now we got more than 50,000 people. And from my apartment, we got a lot of campers today, and we have achieved over 550 billion US dollars GMV sales last year. And we also have more than 500 million users using our services in China alone. And every day, more than 200 million people shopping through a mobile phone on our site. And one thing, you believe or not, I just don't understand. There are about more than 60 million people browser our through mobile phone every night without buying anything. And we also created more than 33 million jobs. This is what we feel for China. This is what we feel most proud of. Our goal is that we're bigger, even crazier. Yesterday I told you, by year 2036, we try to build an economy that be the world's 5th largest economy. For our GMV last year, we are ranking number 21 or 22 in the world. In next 20 years, we want to be the 5th. In the 5th largest economy, we want to support 2 billion consumers. We want to create 100 million jobs for the world. We want to support 10 million business, be profitable on our platform. This is what we want to do. And by the way, there are a lot of stories about us, a lot of books telling about us. I never write a book by myself, because I think when I start to write my own autobiography, that means I'm getting old. The book I want to write about one day is about Alibaba 1001 mistakes. We made so many mistakes, and the mistakes that we learn are the best assets we have. We made all kinds of mistakes on the financing, on the HR, on the marketing, and on the competition. We have a lot. We survived. I would say we survived. We're not successful. We will never say in Alibaba, we'll never say we are a successful company, because we will not say success until we survive 102 years. We just finished 18 years. There are another 84 years to go. The next 84 years, anything could happen, so we will never say we're succeeding. Because every time, I think most people here, have the same feeling. When you get a feeling of being successful, problem comes, right? So I share some of the tips why we survive. First, we have to believe in the future. We have to love the jobs we do. We have to love our customers. So if you don't have the vision for the future, it's difficult for a team to have a teamwork. Do not hire people for you to work. Hire people to work for the vision you agree on together.